Hey guys, welcome to MMA Merrick. I'm the MMA Merrick, and this is the Master Batter.
Yes, sir. What's up,
Yeah,
bro?
what's
How
up,
you
brother?
doing?
It's good, brother. How are you?
Great, bro.
I love it. I love
Excited
it.
excited for this big card. Some of my favorite fighters on this card, bro. I'm super, super
Yeah, I
excited for
know
this.
this man is the biggest Bilal Muhammad fan I ever met,
Yeah.
so it's
I'm
gonna be a good
also a
one.
huge Valentina fan and a huge, even bigger Jose Aldo fan.
Yeah,
So,
I know, I know, I
and
know.
and I'm rocking my Charles Oliveira shirt because we got the news today that if Bilal Muhammad wins this fight, Charles Oliveira will be fighting Ilia Topuria for the interim 155-pound belt, and I'm here for it. Let me
I
tell you.
love that. I love that. I love that matchup, bro. I don't know
Hell
who
yeah.
I would root there. Probably Charles. You know, but
I'm
I
a root
like
for
Ilya
Charles
too.
too. I mean, Ilya's super dangerous. Somebody's gonna get killed in that fight for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It'll be a fun one. But
Yeah.
let's get to business, brother. UFC 315, bro. We waited for this one for a long time.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, first matchup we got Brett Katona at Beksat Almakhan. So Brett Katona is minus 190 and Beksat is plus 140.
No, I think
Actually,
that's.
actually
I
no.
think.
Oh no, that's the point spread. Sorry, the money line. So we
Yeah.
got plus 120 Brett Katona and Beksat minus 142. So close, pretty
Yeah.
close odds. Um, from what
I
I've
got this
seen,
fight. I got this fight. I took Brad Katona at plus 150. Brad
so
Katona burned me in the past. Umar took down Vexat a lot, so he's not one
yeah,
of those Russians where you have to worry about the wrestling. Maybe Brad can take
yeah.
him down. I also think Brad can outstrike him. I'm ready to be burned by Brad here in this fight, but at those odds, I got to take the chance on Brad Katona.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. We haven't seen much from Beksat. Only that one shot I heard Nurmagomedov, and he started
Mm-hmm.
wrestling and wrestle fucked him for 3 rounds. So we haven't seen much from him. But
Yeah,
Brett Katona, he's experienced. He can go to the deep water. So I think this is like a solid underdog play to start with the card.
I agree. I think it's a solid, solid underdog play
Yeah, yeah.
on a solid fighter.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Next, we got Daniel Santos and John Young Lee. Minus 135 for Lee and plus 140 for Santos. What do you got there, brother?
I'm gonna take Santos. This is just one of those spots where I just am more familiar with Santos than I am with Lee. Lee got finished in the one fight that we've seen of him. Maybe he comes out there and shows us something, but for now, I'm just gonna rock with Santos. Another value play.
Yeah, Santos got the blonde hair, so
Yeah.
yeah, we gotta go with the blonde hair guy. Yeah, classic,
Sir.
classic Shuto box guy, blonde hair, goes forward, solid
Yep.
jiu-jitsu. Lee is kind of like power in a way, and like he might be like solid on striking and might outstrike him, but yeah, I think it's also a solid like all of these like there's gonna be a lot of I feel like dogs are gonna eat this card. Like I feel like Daniel Santos is a really solid dog also. So you know maybe Santos by points like and same with Brad Katona. I would say like we'll take those
Yeah.
two by
Like
points.
it.
Yeah,
I like both of those.
yeah. Next we got Marc Andre Barrio and Bruno Silva minus 175 for Marc Andre and plus 145 for Bruno. What do you got there?
Yeah. Well, I don't like to take favorites. I think I'm going to lean with Marc Andre Barrio here. Bruno Silva does have power. We did see Marc Andre Barrio's chin get cracked in his last fight. It was the first time I think I've ever seen him get knocked out.
Yeah,
They're in Canada. I'm going to go with a lot of the Canadian guys here. Um, I'm going to go with Marc Andre Barrio. I mean, Bruno Silva went three hard rounds with Alec Pereira, so he's
yeah,
no bum. So
yeah,
I wouldn't blame an underdog shot here either.
yeah, yeah. Bruno is solid, but I just feel like Bruno lately just doesn't give a fuck as much. Like I don't know if you get that feeling. Like he's not like as motivated as before. Like I feel like he's just like finding his contract out. If he loses this, he's getting cut for sure.
Yeah.
He's on a big losing streak. Some of those fights were doubtful, like against Weidman. He got his eyes poked out. But
Yeah.
yeah, but
He's super lackluster though, bro. You're right. He doesn't seem to have any fire in him.
yeah, yeah. I just feel like it's not the same guy that fought Alex. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I can't put my money on him. So yeah, I would just go with the favorite here with Marc Andre.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah, Yeah. Next we got Navajo Sterling and Ivan Arslan. So minus 325 Navajo and plus 260 Ivan. So I'm familiar with Ivan. I know about Ivan like maybe 6 years back, because
Yeah,
he's a Croatian fighter, so he's big on the local scene. So like he
yeah,
fought in the Polish promotion KSW. So like I know about him like for a long, long time, for like 5 years now. He has like decent wrestling. He has a lot of power in his hands. He's more like a brawler type. Like, he's not that technical. Navajo Sterling definitely more technical striker. With that kickboxing experience.
yeah.
So I just feel like he's gonna get outstruck like at distance, and he's gonna Navajo is gonna win like like a decision, like unanimous decision. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I saw a picture of Navajo Sterling today, and he looks like he's in Super Saiyan 2 right now, bro. That
Really?
dude is shredded out of his mind, bro. But
Wow.
that, looks can be deceiving. I like the fact that you're bringing up the fact that this guy is Croatian and he fought in KSW, which KSW fighters, I love KSW fighters. That's a great
Yeah.
promotion. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna pick Navajo Sterling here, but based on the odds, man, like me, like Khabib was never minus 325. So like I always think
True.
about that. If
Yeah.
Khabib was never minus 325, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
respect to him, he's talented. But we saw Peyton Talbot loses a minus 700 to
We did.
Raoni Barcelos, and I know who Raoni Barcelos is, and I know he's a dog. And then Peyton Talbot's in the Frank Ocean videos, and it's like, these lines are a little out of hand. I'm gonna
Yeah.
pick Navajo Sterling, but based on what you told me, an underdog shot might be warranted here,
Yeah.
man. The,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
value is there.
Yeah. Underdog shot could be. Also, it could get really violent really fast. So maybe plus 135 under 1.5 rounds.
It's not that
Yeah.
the fact that it's 1.5 implies that this
Yeah.
fight's not gonna go long.
Yeah, yeah. So it could get really violent really fast. So
Yeah,
could be a play if you don't want to pick the favorite, and you're not too comfortable picking the underdog. I
yeah, it's
always
nice.
say go over or under. That's always a good play.
That's nice.
But yeah, yeah. Next one we got Modestas Bauskas and Ion Kutelaba. So the whole crazy Ion. Modestas is
Yeah,
actually a plus 100 here, bro. And Ion
yeah.
is minus 120. Do we agree we're taking Modestas here, bro?
The thing is, so I want to take Modestas. I'm actually a big Modestas fan. I watched him the first time he came to the UFC. I watched him through his injury against Khalil Roundtree, right?
Yeah.
He came back from that. The thing is, he's kill or be killed. Like, I think he's a Cage Warriors champion, and he's kill or be killed. And I'll tell you this much, man. I hate Jan, and I think he's super stupid. But he has wrestling and he has toughness. He's lacking a little on the cardio. Maybe
Yeah.
he's worked on that. The question is always, has Jan Chudalaba put it all together? If Jan
Yeah.
Chudalaba has put it all together, it could look easy for him out there
Yeah.
because
He's
Modestas is really, really high risk guy, man.
yeah.
I'm gonna go with Modestas, but
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't be
agree with you.
surprised
I
if
agree with
Jan.
you. Like last time he fought, he defeated our favorite, last Ottoman. So
Yeah,
like Ion can surprise you. Like he beat Ivan Arslan. He beat like
yeah.
just like with wrestling. He been fighting a little smarter. Like he's not as, like fighting like an idiot as much anymore. Like
Yeah.
he's fighting a little smarter. But
He has the
yeah,
tools, bro. He has the tools. He has power. He has the tools to be a decent
it
fighter.
is. It is. This
He's just
is
very
yeah.
young.
This is like one of those fights where it's under 1.5 rounds is plus 130. So
Oof.
it's gonna either like end under 1.5, or like Ion is gonna like wrestle Modestas and make it a boring fight. Like
Yeah, he
that's like
could definitely make it a boring fight, bro.
yeah, he can. So yeah, this is kind of like a tough fight to pick. Both Eastern Europeans, kind of similar in a way. Like
The fact that it's plus 130 on the under 1.5 tells me that it's probably going to go over 1.5 because these two fighters, like the Yancho level we know and the Modestas Bukakis we know, they almost most likely will never make it past 1.5 rounds because someone's getting put out. But the fact that they have it at plus 130 on the under, kind of really like, maybe you're
yeah,
right, bro. Maybe Yancho level is just going to wrestle fuck him, bro.
yeah,
Maybe
I
that's
think so. I think he's been doing that lately. Like he's on a
yeah.
little win streak, bro. And
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
division is like you need a couple of wins and you're like top 15. You're
Right
challenging.
there, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, he lost to
cute.
like Margo Nikolai. You can't really knock him. Like
Yeah,
that's not. He lost to the champ, the best fighter in the division.
yeah. He lost to Glover, and
Yeah.
Next, we got Jessica Andrade and Jasmine Yusudikovicius. So
Yes.
plus 260 Andrade and minus 325 on Jasmine. Who do you got there?
Well, it's women's MMA. It's a plus 260 on a proven fighter. I wouldn't fault you for taking it, but this kind of reminds me of last week with Marina Rodriguez against who did she fight last week? I can't remember right now. Oh, Jillian Robertson,
Yeah,
and she was like a plus 220 or something. And you're sitting there and you're like, I get Jillian Robertson's a good grappler, but if this fight stays on the feet, Marina will slice and dice her. But what
yeah,
happens is Jillian Robertson beats her up, takes her down, beats her up, and then Marina drops her fucking gloves on the octagon and retires.
yeah,
And if this was 5 years ago, Jessica Andrade would be at minus 1,000 here. And
yeah,
don't get me wrong, I made a bunch of money on Jasmine Jasudavicius. She'd be submitting girls, and she's a beast, and she's Canadian. So she's going to be my pick, and maybe we'll see Jessica Andrade retire this weekend. But if
yeah,
you did want to take a shot on Jessica, it's not the worst play in the world. It's just the fact that she's plus 260 kind of tells you she's probably going to lose.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm thinking too, bro. Like Jasmine is just gonna wrestle her, and home crowd, from her fans, I think is just gonna be like unanimous decision. So
Yeah.
over
I
2.5
totally agree.
minus 166.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's not.
yeah,
I totally agree. She's going to wrestle her and home crowd, cooking, all that.
yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah. Then we got Mike Malone and Charles Sade for the crowd. Radke, um, Charles Radke plus 140, Mike Malone minus 166. So I'm just excited if Charles Radke wins. I'm excited for that post fight speech.
Yeah,
See what
yeah, hell
happens.
yeah. He's going to pump it
Yes,
up.
yeah, save for the crowd. But yeah, Mike again, like Jasmine and Mike's been on the same card like 3 times in a row now. So
Yeah.
just like they're like best friends from the gym,
They're the
and
Canadian Patty and Molly.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah, I got Mike probably. It's kind of close fight. I'm not too crazy about it. Um, what do you got here?
Well, I faded Mike Malott when he lost to Neil Magny,
Oh,
so that
really?
was an incredible time. Yeah, I
Nice.
just, again, unproven, super talented guy, great wrestling, just super talented. He ended up gassing in that fight. And, like, this is the thing, like, he was like a minus 500 there, maybe higher. And it's
Yeah.
like, Neil Magny's a proven guy. Yeah, he's lost to a bunch of guys and he's got submitted and shit has happened, but this kid was just a kid and he gassed out and Neil Magny finished you? Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And he went the distance with Trevin Giles. Do you know what's the only fight in Trevin Giles' career where he went the distance? It was against Mike Malott, bro. And
Oh wow, wow.
and Charles Radke seems to hate him. Charles Radke's only loss is Carlos Prates. The line opened at like a minus 250. It's down to a minus 160. I'm going to go with Mike Malott too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Mike Malott too. I won't be surprised here, but I think he's the better overall MMA fighter. I think he can wrestle him if he showed up the cardio. He definitely is probably going to take this. But
Yeah.
again, Charles Radke only losses to Carlos Prates in a fight where he was going to war with him. So
Yeah,
I
he's a
guess we'll
tough
see
guy.
what
He's
happens.
a tough guy. But yeah, seems like Malone maybe can control him and get like a
Yeah,
decision.
yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Next, we got Benoit Saint Denis and Kyle Prepolig. I don't know where they dig this guy out of, bro. I know he fought in the UFC and then got cut. Minus 1,200 on Benoit and plus 750 on Kyle.
Uh,
Yeah, it's
I
just like,
saw this post the other day. Somebody commented and they were like, "Yo, why is the UFC putting this 12-8 guy in here?" And then Prepolek actually responded and he was like, "Yo, 18-8, they gotta change." So I thought that was actually pretty funny.
that's funny.
Um, Benoit Saint Denis. I was ready to take Benoit Saint Denis by a finish here by knockout against Joel Alvarez. I faded Benoit Saint Denis in the last 2 fights. I faded him with Dustin Poirier. Again, I thought he was unproven. I get all the fucking
Yeah,
Frank Army bullshit they talk
yeah,
about, but everybody
yeah,
talk about shit like that, bro. And then I hammered him very hard with Renato Moicano in France. Renato Moicano was like a plus 240, bro. That was such free money. Renato Moicano gave him a life altering beating,
he
bro.
did,
Like
bro.
that
It
could
looked
have
so
changed
bad.
him. It was really bad,
It
bro.
was
It was
so
really
bad.
bad.
It was
And
so
he told
bad.
us how he was gonna do it, and people were probably laughing. And Moicano went out there and just really beat him up. And then you see what Moicano did against Islam, and you're like, man, if Benoit Saint Denis would have beat Dustin Poirier, maybe they would have put him in there with Islam Makhachev, and God knows, maybe he would have died that day, bro. Because if
At least Islam would submit him, bro.
yeah,
What
and
Maracano
Nato
did,
beat
yeah,
him bad,
just like
bro.
it was like blood all over the octagon. It was so bad, bro. It was like a hard watch, honestly. Like he just looked like outmatched there, so bad.
Really bad, bro.
But
Honestly, I took Renato that day, and I was like, if he gets knocked out on the feet, I'll be okay with it. But oh my god, that fight was bad, bro. He beat him so
so
bad, bro. I
bad,
never looked
so
better
bad,
than that day. Whew.
so bad, bro.
Yeah,
But I
bro.
mean, over
But yeah, I
here,
will
yeah,
say, plus 560, this guy has a chance to make a name for himself. We saw it happen recently where Jake Hadley, who's no longer in the UFC, fought against that guy who fought last week. What's his name? Smotherman or something?
hmm
The guy who trains with Rafian Stati came in. They made him like a plus 600 because he was coming in on short notice, and he dog walked Jake Hadley. I'm not going
yeah.
to sit here and tell you this guy's going to beat Benoit Saint Denis, but man, if Benoit Saint Denis doesn't look the same, this guy has a chance to make a name for himself right here, man. So
Yeah, also where I'm seeing value, bro, is over 1.5 rounds plus 135.
yeah,
So Kyle, from what I've seen, he's like a tough guy. Like he's like decent everywhere. He's not good, and he's like jack of all trades, master of none.
yeah.
So in like I think he can probably survive.
He
You
has
know,
26 fights, bro. That
yeah.
says something. 26 fights, bro.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
plus
I like,
135 over 1.5 rounds is the only like
I
play you
like
can
that.
really make here, or take the underdog, put a little money on the underdog if you
Yeah,
feel like it.
I agree. That's a nice play, bro. I bet minus. I bet KO is minus as well. So
Oh, really?
I don't know. For me, like for Benoit Saint Denis, it's probably minus for the KO, bro. If you have to check it, like
Yeah,
it's probably like minus 200 because he's minus 1,000 money line.
yeah,
For me, this is just a spot where there's no value.
yeah, yeah,
Not only are you getting a minus 1,000 against an unknown commodity, you're getting a guy like you said that is coming off of a knockout by
yeah,
Dustin Poirier, followed up by a battery by Renato Moicano. We don't even
yeah,
know what he looked like right now. He
yeah.
could be done. He could be
Exactly.
completely done, bro.
Could be, yeah, and just like look horrible, but yeah, no, not a great value here. But yeah,
Uh,
probably over
Only
1.5.
reason I was going to bet him against Joel Alvarez is because I think Joel Alvarez is a fraud. And we're never going to see that fight now because Joel Alvarez is going to move up to 170. Joel Alvarez is going to get beat the fuck up at 170 unless they put him against people who are not.
Yeah, he doesn't have as much of a height advantage there, so yeah, I
Uh,
definitely see
and
that.
he's not a great striker. He's not even a great wrestler. He's a great jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
jiu-jitsu is not going to work if you're getting taken down.
yeah, club and sub, but yeah. Next we got Alexa Grasso and Natalia Silva. So plus 210 Grasso, minus 258 Silva. What do you have here?
I got Silva. I know Grasso fought Valentina, beat her once. Valentina made that mistake. Grasso's a great boxer. My brother went to UFC Austin a couple of years ago, and he called me and he's like, "Yo, there's this girl Natalia Silva. She has the nastiest kicks." The fact of the matter is, if Alexa Grasso was going to win this fight, she wouldn't be a 2.5 to 1 underdog. I think they're trying to build this Natalia Silva girl. She's super nasty, super slick and striking.
Yeah,
I think Alexa Grasso saw her chance, took her chance. Valentina made that mistake with that stupid spinning back fist, and
yeah.
Alexa Grasso made her money.
You think there can be a knockout here?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
possible.
yeah,
It's possible. It could go both ways. Alexa Grasso has great boxing, but I don't think she has much power behind there. But Natalia Silva can land a nasty head kick and knock her out, bro.
yeah. Over 2.5 minus 540, under
Ooh,
2.5 plus 360. So
that's disgusting.
yeah, they're betting this to go to a decision by Silva probably. So yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
women's MMA, bet at your own discretion. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Next we got your favorite fighter, Jose Aldo, and Ayman
yeah.
Zahabi. Minus
That's
405,
so.
Aldo favorite. Zahabi as plus 170 dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Aldo. I got Aldo too.
I mean, this is the thing, right? Ayman Zahabi is Faraz Zahabi's brother, GSP's coach. Ayman Zahabi's a nasty striker, bro. And honestly, if this fight was 10 years ago, Jose Aldo would absolutely murder
Yeah,
Ayman Zahabi. Jose Aldo, as we saw, he didn't knock out Jonathan Martinez. He just pieced him up, and then the Mario Bautista fight happened. I can't see Ayman
Yeah,
Zahabi.
yeah, he's not
I
gonna do that.
know Faraz might tell him to do it. I don't think he has
He doesn't
the
have the.
facility to do
Yeah,
that.
he
He's
does.
a very good striker, though, bro. He's a very good striker.
Yeah,
But I just think Aldo's going to be a little too fast for him, a little too powerful. But it's home cooking again. It's possible, man. Jose's like 38. That's what they say on paper. He could be older than that. Of course, I have Jose Aldo.
me
But
too. Me too.
man, Amen is super talented, bro. He's a super talented striker. He's very good, and he's on a little bit of a roll here himself, bro. He's been looking good in there. I've made some good money off Amen Zahabi, bro. So
Yeah,
I'm just excited to see it as a fan, to be honest with you.
Yeah, me too. Like, yeah, he's a good striker, but I just think Jose's aging like a fine wine, bro. He's like one of the best preserved like 38-year-olds. You know, he's like has a chin, he has durability, he has the speed. He's not using his like leg kicks as much anymore,
Yeah.
but you know
This is an accident.
that's like a weapon that I think he should use more. But you know, he's still like
There's a story that he got into a motorcycle accident, and he never told
really?
anyone, and that's why like years ago, and apparently that's the reason why that he doesn't throw the leg kicks anymore, bro.
Oh, that's interesting. See, I didn't know that.
I don't know if it's true or not, but that's the rumor.
Huh.
Also, they asked Merab Dvalishvili who his hardest fight has been at bantamweight, and he said that it was Jose Aldo. So
Yeah,
that's
easily.
major respect from the champ.
Yeah,
He wasn't able to take down Jose that whole fight. So
Yeah, I mean he's been fighting, you know, for 20 years now. So
he was champion for 10. Like
yeah, it's a
And the
legend.
thing-
He's a Hall of Famer.
he was fighting a division up, and he said that he would eat steaks the week of a fight. He didn't have a nutritionist, and now you see him. He makes 135 with ease, super shredded out there, bro. Like it's
Easy,
kind of crazy. Imagine he would have fought at 135 earlier. He would have been, ooh,
easy.
yeah, bro. He's a beast. He's a beast. And also, man, like I always say this. You see a lot of the fighters that are old, like Jim Miller, Clay Guida. You watch them fight, bro, and you know they're old and they're from a different time. But Jose Aldo is from their time. Jose Aldo is from before Charles Oliveira fought in the UFC.
Yeah, he is.
And like you said, bro, he's aged like a wine because if you see him in there and you don't know it's him, you watch him against Jonathan Martinez, and you think he's the prospect. You're like,
Yeah,
who's this?
yeah,
Exactly.
exact. Yeah, he definitely has, you know, adapted to the game, you know, and maintained the skill level necessary to compete with the best.
Bro, Charles Oliveira debuted in 2010. Jose Aldo was champion like 3 years before that, bro.
Wow.
And it's like like I said, like you see him, bro, and if you don't know that it's him, you look at him and you see that crisp boxing, super slick takedown defense. You would never think he's from that time period, bro. It's actually crazy that Conor McGregor knocked him out like 10 years ago. And Conor, look at him and look at Jose Aldo, bro. That guy's, it's the love of the game, bro.
Yeah.
Super talented, but it's the love. He's got that fire, bro.
He does.
He's got that
He does. He does. His game.
All in him, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, we got Jose all day.
All day.
All day. Probably decision. And next we got Valentina and Manon Fiorot. You've been, you know, talking to me about this fight for like months now. Like maybe even a year.
Years, bro. Like,
Yeah, over
honestly,
years even.
I love Valentina so much, and I've been on the Manon Fiorot fight train. I always thought, she'd be the one to dethrone her. And technically, Alexa Grasso was, but super strong, super slick striker. The only thing I don't like is, man, two things. One, they made her a favorite here, which is similar to what they did with Weili Zhang against Tatiana Suarez, but she's more well-rounded. But it's like, man, you see Valentina at plus money. Thing is, I feel like Valentina's a little past it, but also here, like Manon is kind of disrespecting Valentina. She was talking about it this week, and it's like you can go about it better. And I think Manon is gonna win? I would never blame anyone for taking Valentina at plus money because you never get that.
Plus 105, not much, you know.
She was like plus 130 earlier in the week,
yeah.
which was absurd. But I'm gonna root for Valentina, bro. As much as I wanted Manon to become champion and all that, I'm gonna root for Valentina. But my pick is Manon. I think Manon is actually gonna knock her out, bro. Valentina's never been knocked out. She fought one time on a roof, I think against Kat Zingano, and they stopped her for some cut, which wasn't even really all that, which was stupid. That was like 15 years ago. But I think Manon's gonna knock her out.
Yeah, under 4.5, bro, plus 230. So
Yeah, that's a nice one.
that's
That's
a
a
nice,
nice one.
nice value there. Yeah, we can check the. I can't check the. I'm not logged into the app right now, so I can check the
Yeah.
knockout prop. But yeah,
I think it's plus 550. I checked it. It's plus 550 for
that's
Manon
very
Fiorot to
nice.
knock it
That's
out. I know that sounds crazy, but
crazier things happen.
I'm gonna go with Manon, but I'm gonna root for Valentina.
Yeah,
So hopefully, she stops the naysayers and all that.
hopefully. And we got the main event: Belal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena. So minus
Who?
192. Remember the name, brother. Remember.
Yes, sir. I'm trying. I'm trying.
Minus 192 Bilal, and then plus 160 Jack. I know you're a huge Bilal fan, but you've been having some second thoughts, right? About Bilal.
It's not even second thoughts. It's just, well, the thing is, I made so much money on Bilal because he was like an underdog in almost every single fight, bro. Bro, he was an underdog against Lyman Good, bro. They made him an underdog against Sean Brady plus 130. He was an underdog against Leon Edwards. I got him at plus 200. I was gonna take him against Shavkat plus 200. I think everybody was gonna be so surprised when he was gonna like just run through Shavkat. I mean, that line will never happen now because of the Ian Gary Shavkat fight. But the fact of the matter is, he opened at minus 250 here, and I've been liking the plus money on him. But now it's down to like minus 160, bro. So maybe that's a little telling. JDM has this aura about him, bro. He's always had it since he's come in. Super tough, great boxing, super slick, hard to keep down. Carries his power late. Knocked out Gilbert Burns with a broken arm. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you because I think Bilal's gonna win. I do think Bilal's gonna win, and he's a beast, and he's a better overall MMA fighter. But man, I would not anyone counting JDM out is not watching the same fighter I'm watching because
Yeah.
JDM is a beast, bro.
Yeah,
He's a
he's
beast.
a beast. He's a beast. So, I think he has a chance of knocking Bilal, of course. But yeah, just Bilal has been so dominant, so convincing. Like, an over 4.5 rounds is minus 215. So, Bilal decision, most likely outcome. But you never know. If you want to
Ooh, I like
sprinkle
the
a little
under
bit,
on that. I like the under on that
yeah,
4.5, bro.
under
Especially,
plus 165. Yeah, so
I like that because JDM's path is to knock him out probably, and Bilal keeps saying he's gonna knock him out, bro. Like he hasn't really said that before, but he's saying he's gonna knock him out, bro. So I
yeah.
gotta believe my boy, bro. He's gonna go out there and he said he's gonna put on the greatest performance, MMA performance ever, bro.
I love
So
that. He's
the
motivated.
ball's really outside for real, bro.
He's motivated. He's motivated. He's from
Yeah,
Chicago.
bro. Super excited.
Yeah.
He's a beast, bro. He is a little up there in age. He's 36 now, but he hasn't shown it yet. And
Yeah.
Jack 28, bro. Jack is. I'm telling you, bro. Jack has this aura that people like Joe Pfeiffer, who else? Diego Lopez. Just some of these guys have this aura, bro, and Jack has it, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna realize it this weekend, but I will not be surprised if Jack Maddalena becomes a champion at one point, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Me either, bro. Well, he has time in front of him, so maybe
great
not.
boxing
Yeah.
too, bro. He completely outboxed Kevin Holland, man.
Yeah, he does.
put on a boxing
He does
clinic,
have
bro.
has great boxing, so if not this time, but definitely in the future, I see him as a champ. But yeah,
Yeah,
I would
big
go with
power
Bilal.
too, bro. People have raved about his power, bro.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely got power. The way he counters people, yeah, he's amazing. But
He's a
yeah,
dog, bro.
yes,
Gilbert was dog walking him, and then he knocked him out with a broken arm, bro. His arm was snapped clean, broken, bro,
yeah,
and he knocked him out with that knee, bro.
yeah,
He's a tough customer, bro.
he
He's a
is.
tough customer.
He is.
Bilal has a tough way past him. Like he's gonna have to fight JDM, beat JDM. Maybe he was saying that he thinks they're gonna put Kamaru Usman against him if Kamaru beats Joaquin Buckley, but it doesn't look like he's gonna beat Joaquin Buckley. Then he'd have to fight Shavkat. Then he'd have to fight Ian Gary. Then he'd have to fight Joaquin Buckley. Man,
Yeah, yeah,
Bilal has a bunch of guys. The thing is, like, as much as I love Kamaru Usman, right? 4 of his 5 title defenses were against Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal, bro. Like, bro, do you know what Bilal will do to those people, bro? He'll fucking destroy them, bro.
yeah, bro. But
So,
Kamaru only used 30%, so
no,
so maybe for Bilal he pulls out more. But yeah, no, I agree. Bilal has. It's just a matter of time. Somebody's gonna dethrone him, but he's not Khabib. He's not gonna be like, or Islam. He's not Islam where like there's no way somebody like these new guys are just like they're. It's
Yeah,
much
that's
more.
the thing that's been bothering me, bro. Is for so long I was saying Bilal will be champion. You remember for years, bro, I was saying Bilal's going to be champion and how good he is, right?
Yeah.
And no one believed he'll beat Leon Edwards. And now those same people that were saying he will never beat Leon Edwards, they're saying there's no chance he can lose to JDM. And it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, where did you guys come from? What the fuck are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know. For me, if JDM doesn't strip him this weekend, I think it's Ian Gary, bro. I think Ian Gary will beat him for the title. But
Yeah. Yeah.
that's just people don't want to give Ian his fucking props, bro. You won't be crazy if JDM comes down with an injury and Ian Gary fights this weekend. That'll be
That'll be.
fucking nuts,
Yeah.
bro.
That'll be
I'll lose my
amazing.
mind. I would lose my mind if Ian Gary fights because apparently he's weighing in as the backup, bro. If
He
Ian
is.
Gary fights against Bilal Muhammad this weekend, that'll be fucking nuts, bro.
Yeah,
Coming
that'll
off
be
2 weeks
amazing.
in Carlos practice is
Yeah,
crazy.
that would be amazing. But yeah, we'll see what happens, bro. I'm super excited for these fights. It's a good
Me
place
too.
to be made, and yeah, guys, put your bets in. Like,
Yes,
share, and
sir.
subscribe. Yeah, this was MMA Maverick, and this was Master Better. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you for
Thank-
having me on, bro.
Of
It's
course,
always a
bro.
pleasure.
Of
Thank you
course.
so much.
Thank you for coming on. So yeah, yeah,
All right.
we'll be watching these fights, and we'll talk more about them.
Yes, sir, bro. Enjoy them. Enjoy them, guys.
Later, brother.
See you.
See ya.